My black heart bleeds blue blood for them true thugs. All the real niggas gone, it's only a few of us. I was taught be a man, go get it yourself. Instead of holding out your hand, waiting on these niggas to help. Cause why is help? These motherfuckers ain't really who they say they are. Wait, you found out they snake, they hoes, they fake, they fraud. Nothing but hoes, they cutthroat. Fuck no, I ain't about me.
What's happening? Welcome to another edition of ManPower. You know, I'm your host, Papa G. And today's episode is called Be a Disciplined Man. And what I mean by being a disciplined man is understand that the same way you have feelings and you care is the same way the child that you create is gonna have feelings and care. And I know that black men, let me tell you something, we are naturally conservative people. And what I mean by that is we want our own family, okay, with our wife. And if she treat us good and do like it's supposed to be, 9 out of 10 of us are content for life. All right. We want a good life. We want to be able to provide for our family and leave something for our loved ones, as well as be able to take care of them while we're here. Okay. So this show is for the real men, the men who understand that we are in charge and we rule things. And if you're in charge and you rule things, then how is it that the most important thing in the world you're not in charge of, which is the people? Okay. This show is not for, anybody who is trying to make it seem like the natural order of things is for the female to have the responsibility of the children, because I'm trying to get a revolution going here. I'm trying to, even if when I'm going to my grave, I can look and see that this fight has been taken up by the mantle, by other men, and we're starting to unite and stand up and say, we're no longer taking this bull crap. No longer. You understand? We are equal parents, okay? The females can go with the ladies, but the boys have to go with the men. Why? That's a great question, because it's important that we control marriage. We control childbirth, okay? Because if you have your son, all right, you'll keep him well-rounded enough to where he's not going to go out here and make all these different babies with these different women, and you'll be able to make plans, help shape and mold and guide his life. You'll be able to give him the G, and also you'll be able to pass on a lot of critical things that otherwise you wouldn't be able to do. There are a lot of men out here who don't know how to fish simply because had they had the opportunity to maybe take their son fishing, they probably would have learned. And I know this because when me and my sons were fishing, I've had men, and my sons will attest to this, come to me and say, hey man, can you show me how to do this? Because I'm taking my sons fishing and I don't know how to do it. And me and my sons, we stopped and we set them all up. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, so just pay attention to what we're doing, because once your sons see you doing it enough, then they're going to be able to do it with you. When me and my sons go fishing now, I don't have to do nothing. I know I don't have to do nothing but just show up and throw my line in the water, you dig? I know if it's a tent to be set up, I'm straight. If it's a fire to be lit, I'm straight. If I'm looking for some coffee and I done brought something out there, they gonna make it. You feel me? So, but as men, we have to have this control. We have to be able to tell our son, hey man, come here, what you doing? Look here, bro. Don't be over there doing the unmentionable with this little girl or whatever. And even still, it's not gonna be perfect. So he don't listen. He go out here, he still do the wrong thing. And now you're a grandparent before your time. But with it being in the community of the men being in control, then we know that the baby is going to be provided and protected, okay? Because you have the father setting the example for the son. So you have two providers, two protectors that are all feet in, protecting the bloodline, protecting the name, Now, who do you think don't want us to have that kind of power, to have that kind of control? Okay, it's our government. All right? It's the Attorney General. It's child support. It's family court. Because they are looking at our children as fodder for the cannon through their criminal justice system, through their mental institutions, through the young people wound up just like their parent and becoming government recipients from the cradle to the grave. Okay? But if we had our children, we would shortstop all of this. Because I'm telling you, men are not going to be out there filing for food stamps and welfare and Section 8 and doing all that kind of stuff. There's going to be some men that do have to do that, but they're going to work their way into a better situation. They just going to use that as a starting place, a jump off to be able to do better. And you better believe they will. You know, we have to start working hard to provide a space where the man way can prevail once again. And it is so critical that we do that because you're going to hear me continue to say this. We are in World War III. Yes, it has not hit American shores. Okay? By the time it does hit American shores, it's going to be all out, lottie-dottie, everybody. You see, Russia and Africa are trying to come together and make their own money. You really think we're going to let Russia and Africa come together and make their own money? Because if you do, you don't understand the way the world works. You understand? That's why we have to have men. That's why we have to have men making men. Okay? Because it's a big fight around the corner. We have to start back. I don't know how, but we have to start back making the patriotic commercials, the few, the proud, the brave. You know what I'm saying? We have to start back making the Air Force commercials. We have to start back making the Army commercials, the Navy commercials. You know, where have they gone? You know? We have to start back making movies that sow patriotism, that sow pride into our country, because we have let the women and the feminists and the people who are against a male-dominated society move us to a position of weakness. And that's where we are. The only thing that's keeping us relevant in the fight is the size of our weapons and the technology of our weapons. Okay? But when it's too much talk and not enough of the right thought, you could lose. You could lose. You know, look. I'm going to touch this here real brief. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If I feel like this, if voting was going to do something for me, I'm 52 years old. It'd be done it by now. But you got one man that they said, oh, the world is going to fall down if we let him in, right? And I ain't never did it, you know, because I ain't never thought about doing it. But, you know, I'm the type of man that, you know, I done walked up to my lady and been playing with her and grabbed her breasts, you know, in a playful, passionate way. But I ain't never been so bold as to do the other thing, what he said he did. But I don't have no problem with what two consenting adults do. And that man gave me stimulus, unemployment, you know what I'm saying? So that's my experience with him, because every other president come and go, and it just be their terrible actions that I feel. It's never no benefit from their action that I feel. Not directly. And then this other clown come in, everybody talking about, oh, this one here is, he's more harmonious, he's more this, he's more that. You know, and turn out to be, he just somebody who is well-versed, a smooth operator as far as knowing how to tell the people what they want And then he behind closed doors telling other people, yeah, I just got to go out there and tell them what they want. But we know what we're going to do. All right. And under this cat, I seen an anti-Asian hate bill instead of an anti-black hate bill. And I think if you was to pass an anti-black hate bill in this country, it would take us so far. But, you know, let me get back on my subject. Because this show here is for men. All right? And it's not for women. The women are not included. You understand? And before I get off into this next segment, you know, I want y'all to know, I see y'all I'm more laid back today and relaxed, right? Yeah, that's because I called that motherfucker. That motherfucker didn't answer the phone. So since that motherfucker didn't answer the phone, you know, I ain't been like roused up. I'm like, you know, just normally me. And because the weather's so bad outside, it ain't really nobody for me to really just walk into and just pull that stimuli off. So now I can just complete my thoughts that I would be wanting to do for the show anyway. All right. But I'm still going to jump off into these inept men once I finish this. All right. So now I want to, you know, take a little time. You see how I am. You see my presentation. You know what I'm saying? You can pretty much feel coming from me that I'm not the kind of dude that we're going to do too much talking. If we have, you know, like if it's time for the conflict to get going, I full well accept that. Okay. So, you know, I remember as a young boy, my Uncle Doc, he would run and never get tired, you know, and we would go to the naval base over there in New Orleans. And, man, I just always knew as a little bitty boy, from the first time I seen military people on TV fighting, I knew I was a soldier. I knew that's what I was going to do. And my whole life, it remained the same. And I ran into boys in elementary school who was like me. And I ran into a lot of them in high school who was like me. And we was all in the JROTC. And I remember my mama, my biological, she had me with long, pretty hair. She would take her time and she would press my hair, you know. She would put it in the rollers and everything and then put the scarf on my head. Now we talking 1975, 1976. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like it. All right. All the adults had long hair, afros and all this kind of stuff. But my mind was, you know, I want to be like them dudes I'm seeing on the TV there with the tanks and the army men. You know what I'm saying? I used to even play with the army men for long periods of time. I'm saying this because I am cut from the warrior class. Like you'll have a group of pit bulls and you can set one bowl of food down, and let's say you got 12 pit bulls. You got 11 or 9 of them pit bulls that can all get at that one trough of food and sit there and eat. But then you got them other 2 or 3 pit bulls that they got to eat by themselves because they're going to dominate the bowl and stop all the rest of them from eating and eat by themselves. Those are your warrior class. You understand? And I'm cut from that. So I asked my uncle, I said, can you take me to get a haircut? And I would not leave my Uncle Doc alone until he took me serious. And that's how I got my first haircut. And when my daddy and my mama saw it, you know, they all, oh, you shouldn't have cut his hair. Oh, you shouldn't have cut his hair. He wanted it. And I was just sitting there so happy and smiling. You understand? And from then on, I was able to move on with identity as I was seeing myself. You know? So you have a lot of men out here who are disciplined, stoic, you know? And we are that way because we struggle to withhold the belligerence that's within us. You see, and it's a lot of men that haven't made it to my age that are fire pissers like me. You let the electricity go off. They'll show you. You often hear me say that. You let us lose electricity. That's all we need to lose is the electricity. And I promise you, a lot of these men you think are men, you're going to find out ain't men. You're going to find yourself with a man that's, or what you thought was a man, waiting on some men to come save y'all. Bring y'all water, bring y'all food, bring y'all rescue. You understand? Now, you know within the sound of my voice, if you know, damn, man, Papa G right, man, I don't know how to start no fire. Let me look that mess up on the YouTube and see how to do it. Let me talk to somebody. Let me, start practicing. Damn, how do you purify water? If things broke down, what would I do? What would I do? I remember one time I was talking to one of my boys. I was telling this punk motherfucker, and this is my boy, so I can call him that. Telling this punk motherfucker, look here, bruh. I'm gonna get you, or you should get you and your family. At the time, Walmart had these little straws, right? Where if the water situation broke down, you could drink the water from the street if you needed to in the flood, and it would be purified and clean. You would get some water and put it in a container and drink it, and the water would be purified as it's coming through the straw. And I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of gallons for each one, right? This punk motherfucker can't even fathom being in a survival mode where he the leader of his family, his children is thirsty, and he need to be the one to take a drink from this straw so they can see everything is okay, so they can drink water too. That's the state we in. That's the state we in. We got well-manicured men. Okay? Man, if you don't know how to set up a fishing pole, or if you don't know how to look at something out in the woods and say, yeah, this is strong enough for me to catch a fish with the right type of wood that a bend won't break. Huh? Okay? We are entering a time where all this BS gonna come to, I'm telling you, it's gonna come to a full head. All right? See, they got a name for people like me. They call us outdoorsmen. Okay? So, you're supposed to be able to survive. You're supposed to be prepared to survive. We are fathers. We have been replaced with the government. And so many men have never even thought about what am I supposed to be in possession of in order to survive. They think, long as my truck gassed up, long as my car gassed up, shit, I can get on up out here. But what you gonna do if the roads is down? What you gonna do if the roads is down and there ain't no getting out of here by car? Then you're gonna find out how useless he is because he can't get you to the hotel where he could slide his card to pay for it. So now everybody on the floor, or everybody in some whatever horrible condition everybody can fix for themselves because he ain't got no skills. So if it's cold as hell, he can't even start no fire unless he got his cigarette lighter. I'm serious. And too many motherfuckers running around here thinking they're a man because, they done got on the job and they paying some bill. It's a hell of a lot more to being a man than being able to get on the job and do what somebody tell you you're supposed to do and make some money to pay some bills. You got a damn illusion going on. I'm not so good where I can recognize, the majority of plants all the plants I can eat, but I know a good bit of them that I can eat. You know, I'm talking to men who understand that we are capable of paying for a household, raising our children, being in charge of our lady. You understand me? And no outside interference or no outside help is wanted. And that means that, so what, y'all poor and y'all just paying your bills and just making it. Ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that. But men, we have to reclaim our rightful place. Look here. If we have our sons, like I said earlier, we can control marriage. We can control a lot of this out of wedlock pregnancy that's going on. Okay? Because once we teaching our sons what type of female to go after, the ones that, want to be a doctor, lawyer, scientist, plumber, welder, truck driver, well, we know that their first priority is doing what a man do. And we want to do what a man do, and we want to get a lady that do what a lady do. Now, if you one of them dudes that's like, no, well, she got to contribute something, she got to be doing something. Bruh, I promise you, if you understood what it takes to run a household, you know what I'm saying? Keep people with fresh hot food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, maintaining a clean home, like after the kids get a certain age, she not washing the kids' clothes no more, but she still washing your clothes and her clothes till the day she die. You feel me? It's a lot of shit that go with running a house. Then she got to plan family vacation, all right? Pay bills. It's a lot of stuff. That is a full-time job. That is a full-time job, partner. Now, this is where you don't go get a hoe. You make sure you get a housewife. Because if you go out here and you get a hoe and you put her in a housewife position, then this what I'm talking about is going to fail. That's another reason why it's important that we let the men be in charge of the boys. Because men are good at pointing out that's a jump off. If we do this, that will motivate the ladies to start preparing their daughters to be wives and mothers instead of the bullpucky that they putting down right now. You understand? Because they'll know that these men are equipping these boys to be real men and be able to take care of a family and don't need no woman to pay no bills. And when you're a man like me, where you don't need no woman to pay no bills, you know what I'm saying? She got to come with something else, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I got health care. I got dental. I got vision. You know what I'm saying? I got all that for you. You feel me? I got the food money. I got the entertainment money. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you have a problem with a man being in charge, because the only reason you got a problem with that is because you want to be the man. Because other than that, if you comfortable with being your spot and I'm comfortable with being my spot, then you ain't got no problem with me claiming what's rightfully mine, which is I'm in charge. You know? Do not go out here and get a lady that want you. Get a lady that need you. Wants come and go. Needs, that's like you need to eat. You need to breathe. You understand? And you get a lady that you need so that the two of you need each other. You understand me? And then when you get that person you need and she needs you, fuck the world. Your mama don't come before your wife. Because your mama not gonna take your semen and grow your next generation and lay on the table and have your baby for you. That's against the law. And put her life on the line for you. Your mama not gonna do that. That's what the wifey poo gonna do. You understand? So you forsake all others for her. These the men I'm talking to. I'm talking to the men that understand that my wife need $1 and my mama need $1 and I just got $1. I'm sorry, mama. And I'm keeping it real. My mama know I love her to death. You know? Don't nothing outrank your wife. And that's how come you can join forces, you know, and turn your back, forsake all others. Because you and her gonna start y'all clan that y'all responsible for. You know? And if you bringing home the bacon and she cooking up the bacon, everybody all right. You don't need to go bring home the bacon and she bringing home the bacon too. Who that benefit? Sure ain't benefiting the children. And we have to understand that the most important thing is to make America great again. And how do we make America great again? By putting back the male-dominated society that made us great. By putting back the rules where people get married and they got to have a, like if it ain't adultery, you can't give them a divorce. Okay? And you say, well, what about if he's black in the eye and dot that I crossing that T? I'm sorry, we wasn't given that authority. We was not given that authority. Listen, even in ManPower, I'm not going to go outside the word. He said for adultery. He ain't said if you knock her out. You know? So look. And then you see that Christ didn't even go against what the Father Jehovah said. Because when they brought that woman to Christ and they say, look here, this one here been doing the unmentionable. Okay? What you gonna do with that? We supposed to stone her. Christ said, well, let he who was without sin cast the first stone. Everybody had to drop their rocks. Then he turned to that lady and he said, go ye and sin no more. He ain't even grant her no divorce. He ain't about to get tied up in that bull jive with us and having a problem with his daddy. The Almighty. No, indeed, no. So, men, we have to fight. This is the civil rights issue of our time. We have to be willing to, for real, go to jail, languish in jail. We have to be willing to go on hunger strike. We have to be willing to die for this issue. Because once we get back control of our male children, we will be once again a city on a shining hill, like they used to say. You know, a shining city on a hill. All right? So to make America great again, we have to honor the family. We have to put family values back, you know. We have to go and just clean up a lot of things. But the number one thing that we need to do is we need to put emphasis on giving fathers first right of parental custody for the male children. This has been Papa G. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day if you hung with me this long to listen to me. Okay? This is the civil rights issue of our time. My Cash App is $GILLMUSE. If you'd like to send me a little donation, support me, keep me motivated going along, everything is greatly appreciated. Until I get monetized, and even when I get monetized, if you want to send me a little something, because this is for men. This is us coming together. Spread the word. Share this with somebody. Let's start a revolution, you know, because let me tell you something, men. If we come together on an issue and be like, we have, men, and we come together in this country, you know, and say we willing to stand and die on this issue. We willing to languish away in the jail system for this issue. Let me tell you something.
Bro, I'm in grind mode. I gotta shine.
They're not gonna do us. They're gonna get out our way. Okay? So until next time, this Papa G saying, peace. And look here, without men's rights, we don't have no rights. Adrian Carl Jackson on the Facebook, baby. They do good work.
My black heart bleeds blue blood for them true thugs. All the real niggas gone, it's only a few of us. I was taught be a man, go get it yourself. Instead of holding out